Tech-Takeback was formally formed in 2020 when we became registered as a company. We provide residents with an easy way to get rid of their unwanted electrical devices without those going to the waste stream. So the primary objective of ours is to reuse as many electrical items as possible. So we go out to the residents, collect from their doorstep, and it could be anything from a mobile phone, laptop, to kettles, toasters, household appliances, all that sort of stuff. We then take those items back to our operations facility where they're all checked into our systems. We provide data erasure services for anything that is holding data. And then once those items have been refurbished, we get them back out to people that can put them to good use through local charity partnerships. If any items can't be reused, then they are disassembled by our team and the individual components and materials are recycled. One of the big challenges has been trying to work within the constraints of an existing system, that you have electrical items being produced by someone else. Lots of these brands employing similar tactics, around the screws that they use, for example, and making things difficult to disassemble. And we don't have any control over that. We just have to find a way to work through it. I think one of the biggest successes for us, and certainly one of the things I'm most proud of, is that very shortly after setting up and launching our collection service, school closures began to happen and there was lots of children having to learn from home. In Brighton Hove, the same as many other parts of the country, there was lots of children who didn't have access to devices to do that. And we were able to, working with local charities as well as the local council, provide refurbished devices to fill that gap, and we provided over 250 laptops to school children in that situation. So we were able to very early on see that we were having an impact on people, and especially during the pandemic, that was a fantastic feeling for us. And I think that's then inspired more people to look at the options for using refurbished tech within charities in the city. So it's opened up more opportunities for us and actually increased the number of organisations considering refurbished tech. I think because circular business model is very much how we were founded, all of the benefits were kind of a large part of the reason that we started what we do. I think the benefits to us have obviously been our existence, but in terms of our charity partners, we've been able to save some of them sort of 40%, around those sort of numbers, on what they would have spent buying tech from another refurbisher. So not even buying new items, but buying from a for-profit refurbishment company. So we're able to, as a not-for-profit, operating locally with all of the operations happening within Brighton Hove, offer a very competitive rate that enables charities to access tech that they tell us they wouldn't have even dreamed of being able to access. And they're the ones that then make the real difference with it. We supply them technology, but then through their operations, they get it out to their clients who can use them most effectively. I think there's two critical changes that will support adoption of the circular economy. The first of those, very specific to tech, is changing the way that things are made. I've already mentioned about the fact that so many items are made not to be repaired. They have a single life. If they become damaged, that is kind of just assumed that item has reached the end of its life. We need to change so there's a more standardization around, for example, the screws that are used and the fixings that are used within devices to make it easier for refurbishers such as ourselves to carry out that process. And also just a general consideration for repair in there. Items like printers, for example, are sold so cheap now, and all of the components, you can't buy spare components for them. And if you try and take one apart, a lot of them are put together with fixings that use adhesives that you break that's gone, that's done. It cannot be reassembled. So that's one of the big things. The other thing that I think needs to change for the circular economy, and we've seen especially in our operations, is that a lot of circular business models are quite labour intensive. So where a traditional electrics recycler might shred up all of the items that they have, we are testing them to see if they can be reused, and if they can't, then doing the disassembly process by hand. We get much better value out of the materials that are in there, and we don't mean financial value, we mean value for those resources. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of labour to do that. So finding ways to support sort of labour over resource intensive processes, because ultimately we're creating jobs, would be something that I think needs to change. I think the main piece of advice I'd give to SMEs trying to adopt circular business models would be to learn from others that are already doing it. I think it's so important to try and take value, and you'll find that most people who are working in the circular economy are keen to share their experiences. We, for example, have had conversations today with people who've said, we wanted to look at potentially doing something similar, but we realise how much time and effort you have invested into learning how this works and what needs to be done, that actually we'd love to work with you on doing that. And I think that's really important, because otherwise it's just a waste of money. We know there are a lot of sort of funds being made available for people to investigate the circular economy, but if some of the work has already been done, let's learn from each other, build upon that, and put those resources to as best use as possible.